Next, our final topic, actually. Let's get into this Austin Wolf case, which I don't know why y'all surprised. Yes, it's been delayed yet again. So, all right, Austin, one of these days you actually gonna have this case come before the judge, come forth to a fellow judge, and we'll finally get this ball up and rolling. I mean, Diddy already got his date set, and you still out here delaying. So, I don't know if y'all noticed this, but it's been 9 months since adult performer Austin Wolf, aka Justin Heath Smith, was put in handcuffs on federal CP charges. So I got another monthly update for y'all, and yet again, a federal judge has granted a ninth continuance, pushing the deadline for indictment or preliminary hearing to April 28th, just 2 months shy of the 1 year mark since his June 28th, 2024 arrest. Court records show that plea negotiations between Smith's attorneys and federal prosecutors are ongoing. Now, for those of you who need it, here's a refresher on Smith's case. On June 2024, Smith, aka Austin Wolf, was arrested and charged with one count of distribution and receipt of CP, excuse me, and one count of possession of CP. The popular adult film star is accused of sending and receiving hundreds of videos of CP, according to a press release from the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Southern District of New York. Smith was taken into custody and made his initial appearance before a judge on Friday, June 28th, 2024, when a preliminary hearing was scheduled for late July. The hearing was then rescheduled for Wednesday, August 28th, 2024, and then again rescheduled for Friday, September 27th, 2024. In September, a federal court in the Southern District of New York granted yet another continuance, moving the deadline for Smith's preliminary hearing or indictment to Monday, October 28th, 2024. Y'all really love those numbers. The 28th, the 27th, it always has to be around that time. As the deadline approached and federal judge granted yet another continuance, moving the preliminary hearing deadline to Wednesday, November 27th. In November, a federal judge in New York granted yet another 30-day continuance, pushing the deadline for preliminary hearing indictment on December 27th, or Friday, December 27th. So on and so forth. It kept just getting delayed every month, and it always seemed like it would fall around the 28th or the 27th of that following month. Now, a federal judge has now granted yet another 30-day continuance. Well, y'all already got the gist. I don't have to keep going into it. So now, it was another thing, because I happened to come across this article on Pride. I think it was a little old, but it asked the question, now when all of this came out around the time, is it the obligation for adult entertainers to speak out immediately on the Austin Wolf debacle, especially if they've collaborated with them? Because remember, let's take a trip back down memory lane. We had a couple of people like Jason Luna. Well, I would say he was showing his behind literally all over Twitter because he is a bottom. Wrote, most of us are silent because we are having a really difficult time processing what just happened. And some people like, processing what? Like, it's been tea for years. Like, a lot of y'all behind the scenes knew the type of man that Austin Wolf is. I won't say was, because that'd be past tense. And he's still alive. Then we had men.com post, we are utterly repulsed, and horrified by today's news report regarding Austin Wolf. Let it be clear, none of our brands have any current partnerships or affiliations with him whatsoever. We have swiftly and decisively removed all content featuring him from our platforms, where it caused Austin Wild, the other Austin, to jump in the comments and say the entire internet knew he's into little boys, allegedly, because he wasn't shy about it. And y'all steadily gave him work and exposure. This is just damage control, but better than nothing. And then Joey Mills said, let's get one thing clear. I have never worked with this man or a studio or a personal collab. The only times I've ever been around him was during award shows and other industry events. I'm not tied to nor associated with anything this man did or does. And I'm like, well, why would Joey Mills be running around here all of a sudden having to jump and be like, I never worked with him. The only time we were together was at an award show. And I think it's because if you happen to run into somebody and then somebody does a photo and somebody goes and brings up, well, do you have something to say about this? What you got to say about this? You took a picture with this man, guilty by association. And then you got to go on social media and windmill hard for your reputation, because now you got a couple of people out here spreading rumors that you collab with Austin Wolf. When I'm like, okay, but where's the evidence? I need you to go over there, subscribe to my shit if you haven't already. Scroll through all my videos, and I need you to point out to me where in this video have you seen me get my cheeks clapped by some damn Austin Wolf. I'll wait. So that's where I would have been with my attitude of it all. That was what I would have said. Since you want to be out here spreading rumors and lies and vitriol, false accusations, where's that? Where the evidence? So you hear a lot of people that jump on social media have to say all of that, and it's unfortunate. So I was wondering, it's like, yeah, are adult performers obligated? And I'll get to my overall thoughts in a second, but let's continue to go over what other people had to say. So then we have Felix Fox, who said, I'm late to the reply to the disgusting actions of Austin Wolf. I absolutely cannot express how repulsed I am at his behavior. To put anyone through that, let alone a child, my heart is filled with sadness. It is fucking repugnant. The law is merciless against those who partake in such things, so on and so forth. So, and then of course we had, Mr. Flip Flopper himself, Timothy Champagne, who can decide from day to day if he's a homosexual or gay for pay. He decided to post on his Instagram along with there was somebody else he did one of the video with, and he was condemning Wolf and clapped back at the backlash, saying that he never worked with the guy, but he had a whole lot to say about it. I'm sorry to all the victims. There's so many layers to the story, but the takeaway is you never know. Everybody really respected him. Everybody loved him. He doesn't speak for the rest of us. We condemn this behavior. That's what the guy that he was with, his name was Xavier, spoke about. That's what he said. And then Champagne said most people in the industry are ethical. If you worked with him in the past, I feel like people will accuse you of knowing things people don't know. People online just want you to be a hypocrite, and they're addicted to drama. This isn't drama. This is something real. Not everybody knew what was going on. So yeah, maybe people didn't know what was going on, but I'm sure that people had an idea, especially if you looked at Austin's films. He always, and look, let's call it what it is. I don't make adult cinematography. However, I mean, I have made some videos. They're just not on. Well, anyway, let me just continue. So, when it comes down to it, if you looked at Austin Wolf's content, you already know that there was always, because he's big and he's like, what is like 6'3", 6'2", whatever. I don't know. I have passed Austin quite a few times when I've been in city. I've told you, he and I go to the gym in the same neighborhood, Chelsea. Which, sidebar, by the way, I heard his house is empty. He don't even have the apartment no more that he had in Chelsea. It's on Zillow. I saw the video. There was another YouTuber that did a video on it. I forget what his name is. I think it's called The Gay Bear or something or another. But if you happen to see it, let me know in the comments. But I saw the video that he compared the empty house to some of the decor that Austin posted of his apartment on social media. So yeah, he ain't got that apartment no more. And I heard the husband up and left and went somewhere. I don't know where he's at. Maybe he's in hiding somewhere in another damn country. I don't know. But damn, I forgot what my point was. So, um, yeah, some people out here are addicted to drama. Maybe some people didn't know. However, okay, now I got it. Now, Austin Wolf, you looked at his content, he always posted stuff where like he was this big, burly dude, which he is, that was always hunching men, the dudes that look barely legal. Even if they were of age, they look like literally children. And yeah, I understand that there's some people out there that like that barely legal adult cinematography. I don't see nothing really that exciting about it, but there's some people that's into that, and there's a big epidemic in our community, especially the homosexual community, where we like that whole daddy's son type fantasy, and there's a lot of people that get into that. I just don't like the fact that y'all out here calling 25, 26-year-old dudes daddy. I'm like, you ain't been around long enough to even be having a zaddy part. Like, even change the D to a Z. So I don't even understand that. But now people talking about now daddy is like a state of mind, a wolf, or like you, like it's so like wolf. Remember back in the day when wolf was a thing? I don't know if it still is. Let me know if it is in the comments. And people still out here wolfing. I mean, maybe they are if they're using growler, but when it comes down to it, it's just like when it comes to the daddy types or whatever, I always thought daddy was just like somebody that would look like an Austin Wolf, or like my friend Alex Tikis, somebody like that. Or even my other friend, I'm trying to remember his damn porn name. His real name is Donald, but black dude, Donald Dickey. Can't remember his actual Ray Diesel. That's what his name is. So because I be forgetting porn names and stuff out here, but when I be knowing my friends, I be knowing about a government. So um yeah, when I look at people like that, I've been looking at them as like they're, that's a daddy. Not okay, daddy's not a state of mind. Since fucking when stop changing stuff. But anyway, so to wrap all this up, personally, I feel like if you have the ability to speak out, then you should do so. I don't feel like people should force you to have to do anything that you don't have the vernacular to do. If you don't have the energy to jump on a soapbox and call people out on things, there are other ways you can go about it. But if you have done content with him, just quietly remove it. That's all. You don't have to announce it and do a whole, you don't need to do like a whole, get a whole band together and a marching band and announce it from the rooftop, but just do what you got to do, whichever works for you. Everybody don't have to come out here and speak out. But I feel like that a lot of people get in panic mode because then there's this whole guilty by association sort of thing. And people feel like, oh, I need to get ahead of it because I don't want to they worry about the social media trolls. You can't let these people who sit behind their damn computers dictate, or their phones dictate how you react to things. But I do feel like I said before, if you work with Austin and your content teeters on the incest style stuff that he made, millions pushing, then I think it would behoove you to remove the content from whatever platform post your content on. So that's all I got to say on that for now. After a while, when I'm sitting here talking about this damn story every month and giving y'all the same update, I have to find new ways to make this story entertaining. So that was my latest angle on, the conversation regarding this whole damn Austin Wolf court date. But I say all of this to say to you all, what do you think of this story in regards to the latest on this court date? The fact that it's been delayed yet again for another freaking month. Hopefully they get everything together before we actually get to the 1 year anniversary of him being in the Metropolitan Detention Center over in Brooklyn. Diddy's roommate or cellmate or building mate, whatever you want to call it. All three of them in there, like I said before, him, Diddy, and Luigi Mangione all up in there. It's like celebrity row down in prison. So I definitely want to hear from you all. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below.